Wadjet, Cobra goddess and protector of Lower Egypt. In the rich tapestry of ancient Egyptian mythology, Wadjet, the Cobra goddess, emerges as a figure of profound significance and reverence. As the protector of Lower Egypt, Wadjet's influence permeated various aspects of Egyptian life, from the royal court to the agricultural fields. Her imagery, often depicted as a rearing cobra, symbolized both divine authority and protective power, making her one of the most enduring and potent deities in the Egyptian pantheon. The origins and symbolism of Wadjet. Wadjet's origins can be traced back to the early dynastic periods of Egypt, where she was initially worshipped as a local deity in the Nile Delta region. Her name, derived from the word waj, meaning green, is a testament to her association with the fertile lands of Lower Egypt. As the region's patron goddess, Wadjet was believed to have bestowed the verdant prosperity that sustained its people. The cobra, or uraeus, with which Wadjet is synonymous, is a powerful symbol in ancient Egyptian iconography. The rearing cobra, poised to strike, embodies both protection and aggression. It was this duality that made Wadjet an ideal guardian for the pharaohs, who were considered the earthly incarnations of divine power. The uraeus was often worn on the pharaoh's crown, signifying Wadjet's perpetual watchfulness and readiness to defend the king. Wadjet and the kingship. Wadjet's role as a protector extended beyond the borders of Lower Egypt to encompass the entire kingdom through her association with the pharaohs. She was one of the two ladies, along with Nekhbet, the vulture goddess of Upper Egypt, who jointly represented the unification of the two lands. This symbiotic relationship was crucial in legitimizing the pharaoh's rule and maintaining Ma'at, the cosmic order. In coronation rituals, Wadjet's presence was indispensable. Her imagery was often invoked to ensure the pharaoh's divine right to rule. The pharaoh's crown, adorned with the uraeus, symbolized Wadjet's guardianship. This emblem not only signified the king's divine protection, but also served as a constant reminder of the pharaoh's duty to uphold justice and harmony in the land. Cult and worship of Wadjet. The worship of Wadjet was deeply ingrained in the religious practices of ancient Egypt. Her primary cult center was in Wadjet, modern-day Tel El Faran, a city that bore her name and was considered sacred ground. Here, grand temples and shrines were erected in her honor, and numerous rituals and festivals celebrated her divine attributes. Priests and priestesses dedicated to Wadjet performed elaborate ceremonies to invoke her blessings. These rituals often involved offerings of food, incense, and precious items, symbolizing the community's reverence and dependence on her favor. During significant agricultural periods, such as the planting and harvesting seasons, special rites were conducted to ensure Wadjet's continued protection over the crops and the land's fertility. Myths and legends. The mythology surrounding Wadjet is rich with tales that highlight her protective nature and divine authority. One such myth involves Wadjet's role in the birth of the sun god, Ra. According to the legend, Wadjet was tasked with guarding the infant Ra from the forces of chaos. Her vigilant watch and fierce defense allowed Ra to grow strong and ascend to his rightful place in the heavens, illuminating the world with his light. Another prominent story is the myth of Wadjet and the serpent Apophis. As the eternal enemy of Ra, Apophis sought to plunge the world into darkness by devouring the sun. Wadjet, in her cobra form, stood as a formidable adversary against Apophis, protecting the solar bark during its nightly journey through the underworld. This myth underscores Wadjet's role as a guardian against chaos, ensuring the sun's rebirth each dawn and the continuity of life. Wadjet's influence on art and architecture. The artistic representation of Wadjet is pervasive in ancient Egyptian art and architecture. Temples, tombs, and monuments frequently feature her image, reinforcing her protective presence. One of the most iconic depictions is the uraeus, which adorned the crowns and headdresses of pharaohs and deities alike. This symbol not only represented Wadjet, but also conveyed the wearer's divine protection and authority. In addition to the uraeus, Wadjet was often depicted in a variety of other forms. As a cobra coiled around a papyrus stem, she symbolized the intertwining of protection and fertility. In some instances, she was portrayed as a lion-headed woman, merging her identity with other protective deities like Sekhmet, further emphasizing her fierce guardianship. Wadjet's role in the afterlife. Wadjet's influence extended into the afterlife, where she was believed to offer protection and guidance to the deceased. In funerary texts and tomb inscriptions, Wadjet is frequently invoked to safeguard the departed on their journey through the underworld. Her presence in the afterlife ensured that the deceased would be shielded from malevolent forces and granted safe passage to the afterlife's eternal fields. The Book of the Dead, a compilation of spells and incantations used to navigate the afterlife, often features Wadjet's imagery and invocations. Her role as a protector of the dead highlights the continuity of her guardianship, transcending the mortal realm and extending into the spiritual domain. Wadjet in later periods. The worship of Wadjet persisted well into the later periods of Egyptian history, even as foreign influences and new religious practices emerged. Her enduring presence is evident in the continued use of the uraeus in royal regalia and the persistent veneration of her cult centers. In the Greco-Roman period, Wadjet was often syncretized with other protective deities, such as the Greek goddess Athena, reflecting the adaptability and resilience of her worship. Despite the eventual decline of the ancient Egyptian religious system, Wadjet's legacy endured through the centuries. Her symbolism and attributes were preserved in various forms, influencing later cultural and religious traditions. Modern interpretations and legacy. In contemporary times, Wadjet remains a symbol of protection, fertility, and divine authority. Scholars and enthusiasts of ancient Egyptian mythology continue to study and celebrate her significance, shedding light on the rich cultural heritage she represents. Museums and archaeological sites dedicated to ancient Egypt often feature artifacts and exhibits that highlight Wadjet's role and influence. Moreover, Wadjet's imagery and symbolism have permeated popular culture, inspiring works of fiction, art, and media. Her enduring legacy as a powerful protector and nurturing deity continues to captivate the imagination and reverence of people worldwide.